Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with another in our life lesson series. This is number 113. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We try to do that as often as we can in the most concise and productive way as possible. There are nearly almost a thousand of these up in our archive at this point. Would love to add to content that is beneficial to you and continue to do that in a way that makes sense to you as well. Hopefully, that is helpful for your benefit. The couple ways you can get in contact with me or a member of my team, if that's beneficial to you, you can reach out at PO Perception on Twitter and or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either way will get you in touch with me or a member of my team in a way that makes sense for you, and then we can go from there about working together in a fashion that will make the rest of 2021 into 2022 the best time of your life. Um, and so hopefully that's helpful. Again, these life lesson series are just things that life may be trying to teach you that you're kind of missing out on a little bit. Uh, and so that can be helpful and beneficial in a number of ways. Anyway, hopefully that is something that you're interested in. Again, this is 113. And so, kind of the first thing to look at is um, live in the moment. The moment is all we really have in the world. And so, um, a lot of people live in the past, they ruminate, and that's fine, except that it creates the problem of you're never really going to be satisfied if you're living in the past because you can't change the past. Living in the future also kind of silly because you can't guarantee that what you want for the future is going to be there. You know, any person can pass away at any given time. Accidents can happen that affect your mental, physical, emotional state. Anything can happen, and so while it's a good idea to have a framework for your future, planning your future is kind of silly. The only thing to remain within is the moment. Keep moving, keep going, keep growing, keep knowing that everything in your life is a phase. The good parts are a phase that we should enjoy. The bad parts are a phase that we've got to endure and get through a little bit. It doesn't necessarily mean that things are good or bad. It just means kind of looking at things from in a new perspective of just life being a series of phases is something to look at. Set new standards for yourself, for what you want out of your life, for the life that you're trying to create. It doesn't necessarily mean that the standards you have were bad or good before. It just means every time that you're evaluating your life, look at, is what I'm getting out of my life what I really want? Understand that having your own style, your own brand identity more than ever before, especially with the advent of social media, people are their brand. People are their in some ways it become their social media identity. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have every bit of knowledge about what or where or how that all comes together, but we begin to understand the value of doing that and growing in that way. There's some challenges there, and it can be difficult to identify that. Knowing how to love completely, fully, and expansively is important. When we begin to understand the value of loving completely, that is, loving without judgment, we can then make decisions that are smarter, healthier, better for us in a lot of ways. Knowing that how we love matters just as much as who we love, and the more unconditional our love is, the more opportunities we have to connect with a diverse group of people. Finding a mentor or person or group of people who are where you want to be. They're a few steps ahead of you in life, and they know how to help you get to whatever goals, dreams, aspirations you have. They know the pitfalls, they know the strengths, they know the weaknesses, they know how you see yourself and how they saw themselves when they were in the same circumstance that you are and were. And so they can help you to master those things. That can be super, super valuable in a number of ways. The next thing to look at there is kind of, is this really, is the amount of energy and time and effort I'm putting into something, is it worth it? Does it pay off? commit to yourself to being honest, first with others and then with yourself. So just because you want to do something doesn't mean you have the proclivity to do it, doesn't mean you have the finances to do it, doesn't mean you have the ability to do it, doesn't mean you have the nature to do it. But if you had that, you could get and would get and may get ultimately ways at which your life improves. The last thing to consider is the reality that you always need to be growing. That which isn't growing is dying. Finding ways to grow emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, just in terms of knowledge, can be super valuable. And understanding true growth is super important in a number of ways. So hopefully this is helpful. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.